I want to say she can't find a good man. But then if you point out a good man to her, but he's not an alpha male, she wouldn't really want him.
Right.
You understand what I'm
or
saying?
doesn't have status of some sort. Or,
Right?
Yeah. Because good man, as we was kind of talking about at a time, I was saying, if he doesn't make the panty dry, it can't help. You know what I mean, no matter how good he is, how good natured you are, how helpful. If the panty don't get wet for you, then they can't force themselves. They can't force themselves to like you.
Yeah. I think they should probably learn to try. Only because, dog, then don't complain. Because that's a whole Andrew Tate conversation, you know. If you're like an alpha man, right? Then you'll be willing to take the bullshit that's come with the alpha man sometimes.
Well, what they would say, I ain't no defender of women, but what they would say is that you had to bear in mind that women could get easily confused in today's society because they don't understand men. What happens a lot of the time is that women think, most men know what their limit is. Most men know, that bird out of my league.
Right.
But women get confused because men will sleep with anybody.
Right, yeah.
So a woman who would think that it is within her capability to get a best man, a man who encapsulates everything, a combination, he's physically attractive, he has the swag, he has the, you know what I mean? And he's good-natured, right? They think they could get that because they think that man is within reach. Because men that suit anything, track anything.
Because plenty men pursuing them, so they feel like that one I could get, I want to.
Right. Yeah. And, and that man would sleep with you, but he not looking to wife you. You know what I mean? You're not a long-term prospect for him. But if you throw it on him, he'll take it. You know what I mean? If you see him in a party and you go and whine on him and you indicate, you do have to move when you're done and you exchange numbers and he might come and take a brush. But that makes you think that man is within your reach. Men can't do that. Men can't just, go and just pick any random woman and unless you're a certain kind of man. But the average man can't do that. So the average man knows easily. Now, them kind of birds out of my league. But they don't know that. So they think they could get that. They think they could get that all-in-one, that, the man with the looks, the money,
everything,
the bravado, the charisma, everything. They think they could get that because they're walking on the road and a man, if they wear something tight, a man who looking like that will turn around and watch them when they pass by. You know what I mean? A man like that probably wouldn't suit you, but not in today's day and age. But a man like that might, if you're working in an office with him, he might sweet talk you, he might compliment you on your pants or your skirt or your whatever. So you think, I could pull men like that. So it's a reality check for them when they realize that they have to choose, or they have to settle. Right. They do like, wait,
when they can't get the prince and realize, boy, you have to take a guard.
Yeah. It's a big reality shock. Yeah. Men don't have that because men kind of always know. And what normally happens is that men get, yes, they might have a bracket they could or a pool they could fish in, and the pool could only get bigger because as they could change their status and they could get more money or whatever, and then they could fish in a different pool. But for women, most times it doesn't go from, the pool doesn't get bigger. You know what I mean?
Unless you real glow up. I understand that. It should make sense. And the thing is, with men, sometimes men end up outside of their category and be like, real shock. They shock themselves and like, hey boy, dog, you see this bird? I can't believe I get you, dog.
And they kind of get insecure and they start to question themselves, what this bird really wants? She carry, you know what I mean? Because they don't feel.
Yeah. And that's a real good point. Men would get a bird who they think is out of their league, right? And real question themselves. Sometimes even question the bird and mash up the relationship because of the insecurity, right?
Yeah.
But women now will always think, well, I was always good enough. No matter what they do or didn't do or couldn't do. I was always good enough.
No matter how they look.
And he is ungrateful.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
She feels entitled to whatever man she gets.
Yeah.
She don't feel like a man who dating up. He will know he dating up and he will either be very, very appreciative or very, very insecure. But he will understand he's dating up. A woman now, she just feel a sense of entitlement. Like, yeah, I am.
I mean, you see them on social. Don't worry, you could cook for a man, wash, you could clean everything, and the man still you go down on. You probably couldn't wine right, or you probably weren't the best conversationalist.
Yeah,
you understand? Or you understand what I'm saying?
No. To be fair, I do agree with them that it doesn't matter. I mean, man horn Halle Berry.
But I mean,
Eric Benet.
But my point is, and there's plenty times because what they think, or because we might say Halle Berry because we think Halle Berry real nice, but then Halle Berry could probably be a real asshole.
Or the man could just like the brush.
Well, it could be that too, right?
Exactly.
But the thing is, but I also want to put it out there that not all the time a woman think the package you have is the full package, or the package that person needs. Because that's the next thing. Women just come with this thing and feel, well, nah, this is what I have to offer, and you should like this and whatever it is. And I mean, we could go into love languages or whatever the case may be, but that's not that man love language. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, I use Eric Benet as an example, and I point to him. I don't know what was going on in the relationship, and it may have had some actual faults in the relationship. But it wouldn't be a surprise to me if there were no flaws, or at least no flaws that he expressed, or Halle Berry might have been trying to be the best girlfriend she was, but Eric Benet was also a sex symbol at the point in time, and plenty of people just throwing it on him. And I could have you, and I could have her, and as a man used to tell me all the time, I like to eat pilau every day. So he wanted something else to eat. And that's the reality that, I mean, some men might say even women will do that. But I don't disagree when women essentially point. I'm one of those people that believe that cheating only comes when something is missing from a relationship. Or at least something that's missing that the other person is causing. Now, it might be sometimes something is missing from you.
Right. Yeah, right? I agree with that 100%.
Sometimes
the person not whole, and if the person not whole, and they're going through whatever they're going through.
Right. And they're looking for coping mechanisms. One of them might be that. You're looking, your ego taking a bruise because you're not successful in other areas in your life. Well, right. Now you might look, well, this is an area in which I gain a little success, I gain some current. So I will capitalize on that. And you'll push that. So it may not necessarily be something wrong with the other person, it might be something wrong with you. But I don't believe that, cheating is always as a result of something missing from the relationship from the other person.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, of course, I always tell people, a man who have ego issues, self-esteem issues, insecurity issues, and them kind of things.
And he just does.
Yeah. But I think the selfishness would come from some other lack somewhere or some degree of some issue.
Right.
Yeah. You would cheat. But I also want to put it out there that sometimes the package I think is a complete package isn't as
yes
wholesome as you want to believe.
And it is far more difficult for women to understand that than for men. Men, because the whole dating dynamic has always been that men have to be the ones impressing, right? So a man is always kind of judging himself.
And self-aware.
Am I being the best provider? Am I being that kind of thing? But women are accustomed to being chased and treated. So they think they're the prize. They don't have, they're the shit. They don't have to do anything to adjust. You know what I mean? They are the shit as they are. And if you can't appreciate that, then the problem is you. You know? So, but as I say, it's a kind of hard place for a woman because women can get confused because they don't know men. They don't really understand men, and so they could get a lot of false impressions, and that could push them in some directions that could lead to some dread heartache. And I think that status thing is one of the biggest problems. And I think that's why a lot of them are so unhappy now, is because they all feel that perfect man is within their reach, right? So they want that. They think that is what they deserve.
But you know what I've realized? You see a lot of the people who just post these power couples on social media, most of them single. Post the power couples or post the real kind of top-notch men and who put scrumptious most of them single. Like 99% of them. You understand? Because and they keep posting like this is the ideal man. One night
this is your fantasy.
Most of them single. Because they feel that man represents a very small minority.
Yes.
And personally, if you're going to profile, you realize you can't get he. Or if you get he, he's just a toy. And that's Anyway.
That man is not really within your reach. And if that is what you envisioning as the perfect situation, and any normal man will pale in comparison. And no normal man is going to get you excited in the way that, because as I say, men could make that distinction. Men could see our best bird, gape our best bird, admire our best bird, and just be like, all right, cool, but she's not in my league, and I move on. But I think women, like to your point, where they how they behave with those things is they actually, they have a, because I guess deep down in the back of their mind, they kind of know that they could probably get a brush. If even though it might just be a brush, I think they feel like, or they kind of know that, if I really wanted at least sex with this person, I could probably get it.
And then, and then they have the delusion in their mind that if I get that,
yes,
I might be able to, make it more from there.
Yeah, exactly. Because they feel like they actually have a chance to get through. Whereas we know, if a bird is especially if she's top-notch Instagram, 1,000,001 followers kind of thing, unless you are that kind of man, then you have, you know that's a fantasy.
Yeah.
I think they don't feel like that's a fantasy. They feel like, because as women, they kind of know the power, they feel like I could get something, and if I could get her something, then something will happen. Yes. A good example, I know we're switching topics now, but I remember when the whole incident with what is this man named? Michael B. Jordan with the rum, right? And people, you had a lot of girls saying, all they doing, don't diss the man because I want him to come down here for Carnival to promote the thing so I can wine on him. And a lot of women actually do that. They will see him on the road and they're going, why? You could never do that to Rihanna or Nicki Minaj
Ashanti, I said that today.
Or Cardi B or Ashanti. Yeah. You as a regular dude could never dream of doing that. But some average woman is going to see Michael B. Jordan, and once they have no security moving people from in front of him, they're going and jam him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the power.
Right.
And he is Michael B. Jordan, and these are regular ass women, right? And they could at least get a wine from Michael B. Jordan.
Physical contact.
Yes, exactly. You can't do that with no bird. You know what I mean? Look at male performers. A male performer, Dexter Daps could go up on a stage and any random old ratchet thing could run up there and throw panty on him and jump on top of him and you hug she up and thing and whatever. No man could run up on stage and touch J-Lo or Ashanti or any one of them.
Don't get tackled,
Yeah, you can't. You mad. That's not happening. You're not going up on no stage and saying, and start to gyrate your waist and shit. No, that ain't happening just so. I mean, Destra aside, who damaged the man. You know what I mean?
But they still, they choose.
She chose to bring him up. Yeah, exactly. So it's a whole different dynamic.